Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. When it matters most, turn to the voices you trust. We go beyond the headlines, bringing you the stories you won't hear anywhere else. Live coverage, sharp analysis, real perspective. At home or on the go, stay connected when it counts. Stream Fox News on Fox One. Download today.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
With us today is United States Senator Dan Sullivan. Wow, from the great state of Alaska. And I always, whenever he's on, I love playing that song, North to Alaska. And we used to go north to Alaska for all the gold in the mines. But they missed the rest of the gold. The other gold was a lot of oil and gas and oil. So tell us about the gas and oil being the other gold of the 21st century.
Hey, John, great to be back on the show. Thanks for having me. By the way, thanks for your starring role in Marty Supreme. I thought you were going to get an Oscar, but that's a whole other topic. Well, look, we had a really big day just a couple days ago. On Wednesday in Alaska, we had the lease sale in the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska. And so a little bit of background on that. The NPRA, as we call it in Alaska, is on the north slope of Alaska. It's west of Anwar, set aside by Congress decades ago for oil and gas development. And, yep, you guessed it, Joe Biden, John Kerry, John Podesta, all the far-left radicals, during the Biden administration, they tried to actually kill the NPRA. They issued executive orders to kill it, to lock it up, to turn it into a wilderness area. We fought back, and we got into law in the Working Families Tax Cuts Act last July, mandatory lease sales, saying, hey, if there's a radical left administration in Washington, they can't shut this down. They have to put out lease sales in this very prolific oil and gas basin. So the lease sales came in on Wednesday, and John, it was the biggest lease sale in NPRA history. It was historic. All the big energy companies, Shell, Exxon, Conoco, bid. A lot of the smaller companies, some wildcatters, a great company called Armstrong Oil and Gas. The lease sale bid, it drew 430 bids across 1.3 million acres of land. The NPRA is as big as Indiana. And it had the highest number of bids, totaling $163 million just on the bids. But what this is going to do, these energy companies are now going to develop these leases, and they're going to be putting more oil in the Alaska pipeline and more natural gas, hopefully in our big LNG project. So this is what happens when Republicans in the White House, in the Senate, in the House, all of which we mandated this in law, and we're having the Alaska comeback happen with this blowout historic lease sale for oil and gas. And again, 3 years ago, Joe Biden was trying to kill this basin, put it out of business, which of course would have been horrible for my state, the great state of Alaska, but it would have been horrible for America. Why would you kill energy production? So, big day in Alaska.
Well, Senator Dan Sullivan, I mean, that is great. And now, Alaska, is it about the same size as Greenland? Is Greenland going to compete with you?
You know what? I think Greenland's a little bit bigger, though. I hate to admit that because, of course, in our great country, we're the biggest state by far. My good friend Senator Ted Cruz and Senator John Cornyn, great Texans, by the way, senators. I have a joke that we tell in Alaska. They don't really like it, but I tell it to them all the time. If you cut Alaska in half, Texas would then be the third largest state in the country. We're that much bigger than Texas.
Wow.
But wow. I will tell you, look, Greenland's important. The president's discussion on Greenland, in my view, has focused the nation's attention on the Arctic, on the national security issues in the Arctic, on the energy potential in the Arctic, on the critical mineral potential in the Arctic, on the missile defense importance of the Arctic. But I'll tell you this, John, you may have seen almost a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, I wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal that essentially said to President Trump when he was coming into office, hey, Mr. President, Greenland's important, but, you know, you got something that's way more important right now in the great state of Alaska in terms of oil and gas, in terms of minerals, in terms of missile defense. We're way more important than Greenland. So it's good to keep an eye on Greenland, but we got it right here in the good old USA, one of our great states. My state has all those things that Greenland has, but in a lot more and stronger capacity.
Well, Senator, thank you for everything you do. And, the mission of President Trump is to be having low energy prices for the consumers, having low interest rates for the consumers, and maybe having a drug-free America and get rid of the drug dealers and drug cartels. And America will be a better place for our kids and grandchildren.
100%, John. And when we're becoming, the other thing the president likes to talk about, we used to say we want to be energy independent. Now the Trump administration says we need to be energy dominant. And as you know, you and I have talked about it a lot, the route to becoming energy dominant in America is developing Alaska. That's how you become American energy dominant. And what we did just a couple days ago in this blowout lease sale in NPRA, the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska, we are on our way. Heck, we are becoming energy dominant, and it's a great policy goal of the Trump administration and Republicans in the Senate.
Well, Senator Dan Sullivan, thank you for everything you do, and let's catch up again real soon, and let's pray for America and low energy prices, low interest rates, and drug-free America. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, John.